Today we will be talking about what's new with AutoCAD 2024. So let's get started right away. And first of all, let's take a look at our agenda for today. I will cover the AutoCAD 2024 portfolio, AutoCAD Web, AutoCAD Mobile App, and the AutoCAD Desktop application, the new features and enhancements available on this release, as well as the specialized toolsets and how we can leverage these to increase our productivity. We're going to do an AutoCAD LT comparison and the file formats available with this release as well. And at the end, we've carved out a time for any questions that you might have. However, please feel free to share your questions on the box at any time during the presentation, and we'll address them at the end. So with that being said, we're introducing AutoCAD 2024, and this release is built upon 3 pillars, which are accelerating creativity, tailored functionality, and connected design experience. The AutoCAD 2024 portfolio includes AutoCAD, AutoCAD LT, and AutoCAD Web. And as you know, these 3 applications allow us to do drafting. We can also work on cloud or with cloud connection. And we also have auto lift routines, which are now supported on AutoCAD LT. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later during this presentation. As you know, users have reported remarkable gains in productivity when using specialized toolsets. To be a little bit more explanative of that, it's about 63% increase in productivity. As you know, we have 7 specialized toolsets that range from the architectural toolset all the way to the raster design toolset. And customers have been able to save hundreds of hours in their processes across these 7 industries with these toolsets, which are now included with AutoCAD, but can also be installed as separate applications depending on your preferences as a user. You can automate floor plans, sections, and elevations. You can access a library of more than 800,000 objects, symbols, and parts. You can draw piping, plumbing, and ducting quickly with mechanical tools. You can design ductwork, electrical conduit, and circuiting with HVAC, plumbing, and electrical with the MEP toolset. You can auto-generate annotations, layers, schedules, lists, and tables. And you can create rules-driven workflows to accurately enforce any of your standards within your industry. As you know, with your AutoCAD subscription, you now have access to AutoCAD on any device, the web, your mobile phone, or your tablet, and of course, your desktop. And with AutoCAD Anywhere, you get the flexibility, accessibility, and productivity for your entire team. And you can empower collaborators and stakeholders to contribute to any project on the go. And the AutoCAD Web App, it's an essential drafting and tool with design capabilities for your everyday needs. And AutoCAD Web is a trusted solution that gives you access to the core AutoCAD commands that you're already familiar with. And it can give you anything that you need for light editing and generating basic designs. You can use your familiar AutoCAD drafting tools online in the very simplified interface and with no installation required. And you can access and create and update any DWG files at any moment. And of course, you can bring your team together to review and edit CAD drawings, a very quick collaboration tool. So we're going to take a brief look at how the AutoCAD Web looks, the interface looks. And if you need to access AutoCAD Web, you can simply go to web.autocad.com and sign in with your Autodesk credentials. So as we can see here, this is what the AutoCAD Web interface looks like. We can see here that we have now access to auto list on the web. And we can publish sheets directly into the Autodesk Construction Cloud and Autodesk Docs now from the web too. We also have the AutoCAD Mobile App, in which we can view and edit your latest drawings in the field and on the go. You can access updates in real time via cross-platform workflows with AutoCAD or AutoCAD LT software. So this application is available on all app stores, and you can collaborate and make changes in real time. And you can reduce, all of that unnecessary communication delays and maybe even trips back to the office. And you can get the core AutoCAD drafting tools and the precision and consistency that you've come to expect from AutoCAD and Autodesk. And this is what the Autodesk the AutoCAD mobile app looks like on a tablet. As you can see here, you have access to the very important feature, trace feature, which was introduced on the 2022 release of AutoCAD. And of course, we have AutoCAD on the desktop, which is the core of the AutoCAD portfolio, and it's trusted by millions, and it's been built to accelerate your creativity. So the Autodesk AutoCAD unlocks insights and automations that optimize your 2D and 3D design workflows. You can, of course, share ideas and collaborate with your peers on DWG files that maintain a consistent record throughout the project and lifecycle. You can convert markups with machine learning, take advantage of smart blocks to place and replace elements, and take advantage of enhanced features that are built on decades and decades of innovation. AutoCAD allows for a very high level of customization to tailor the way you work through thousands of third-party apps and connections to the Autodesk ecosystem and other applications as well. And with the power of AutoCAD, you will be designing for the challenges of today and tomorrow. We also wanted to mention the cloud storage connectivity within AutoCAD and the improvements that have been made to Autodesk Docs. So with this release, Autodesk Docs has been renamed now Autodesk Projects on the startup screen, as you can see here, Autodesk Projects. It has also improved support and performance when viewing any large files. We also have improved the desktop connector, which is resulting in improved performance for displaying a drawing in the Start tab, for the preview thumbnails that you see of your files. And we also have improved navigation on the Start tab for drawings to start on Autodesk Docs directly. You can also, if you have any sheets set up as layouts, you can upload them directly to Autodesk Docs with the Push to Autodesk Docs tool. And I also want to let you know that, as Dan mentioned before, we'll be hosting the webinar, What's New with AutoCAD plus Docs for Design Professionals on June 6th. So make sure you sign up for that as well. Moving on, of course, you might ask, how do I access my software or download my software if I have already a subscription of AutoCAD? So you simply have to navigate to manage.autodesk.com, then to all products and services. Then from there, you select the AutoCAD software, version, platform, and language. You choose your download method, and just make sure that you have pop-ups enabled for Autodesk.com. Before we dive into the new features, I wanted to go over some of the recent most important features that we've seen in the latest releases. So some of these features that have been introduced are Extra Compare, Drawing History, and the AutoLift extension for VS Code on the 2021 release. We also had in 2022 floating windows, the Push to Autodesk Docs tool, Share, Count, and Trace. And for the 2023 release, or the release for last year, we also had Cut Base, Extend Vertex, the Lisp APIs, My Insights, the Sheet Set Manager for Autodesk Docs, MText to MLeader, Markup Import and Assist, and Macro Advisor. And now the new features and enhancements that we have for this release of AutoCAD. So this year's new features and enhancements or enhanced tools are within three major categories. We have the Insight category, which includes the activity insights and enhancements for the Macro Advisor and dashboard. We have the Machine Learning category with three brand new features, which are the Smart Blocks Placement, the Smart Blocks Replacement, and the Copy from Trace command, as well as some enhancement to Markup Import and Markup Assist. And we also have the Automation category, in which we have enhancements for the Count tool, the Blocks palette, and AutoLift's APIs on AutoCAD Web, as well as AutoLift now being available on AutoCAD LT as well. And we're going to take a deeper look into each one of these features. We're going to start with the Activities Insights. So with this new feature, you can stay informed on relevant file changes with details of multi-users activities. You can work on local machines, LAN servers, or cloud servers, and it provides you with meaningful insights on workflow. It also tracks drawing events and allows user to understand action taken by other users that are also working on the same file. Some of the events that are automatically logged into this activities insights are open and saving your document, saving as, plotting, publishing, purging, and more. And just so you are aware that activities are logged in chronological order. We also have a couple of commands, new commands that are available with this feature, which are Activity Insights Close and Activity Insights Open, which, as the name indicates, open and close the Activity Insights window. So we're now going to do a short demonstration of this feature. So we have here a floor plan. If we go to the View tab and click on Activity Insights, we can see here information about what has happened with this file and drawing. So I'm going to go ahead and copy one of these plans for you, just to show you how it's logged in the Insights window. So I'm going to copy this one and just move it a little bit next to the other one right there. And then I'm going to save. And as you can see here, it is automatically logged here that I edited this drawing. So if I keep on looking at the activities insight or try to do a purge, even if the purge all is not available anymore because I already done this, it automatically logs the purge on the window. And I can also look at other activities that have happened within this file over time. I can sort these activities by today or the last 7 days or the last 30 days, even up to the last 3 months. I can sort it by the type of event. So if I copy the file, if I publish to PDF, or if I purge, or if any user purged the file. And I can also, if you can hover over the activity, you get all the information that you need. When it happened, where the file is located, and who did it, and the time. Also, if you go here, you can do it by users. In this case, it's just going to show my name, but if I had other people in this file as well, they will show up here. And with that being said, we're going to move on to my Insights, Markup Advisor, and Dashboard, some of the enhancements that are in this tool. This feature was originally introduced in AutoCAD 2023, and it provides valuable information at the right time to assist with steps and repetitive tasks that you can automate. It has been enhanced to learn from your activity within the application and provide better recommendations. So we're going to see a quick demo as well. So we also go to the View tab, and we're going to click on the command macros this time. So as you can see here, we have two recommendations here, one that says copy rotate. So I'm going to go ahead and try it. I can select the object that I want, and immediately as I copy it, it starts the rotate command as well. So I don't have to, do any additional clicks for it to happen. So once I decide the position for this seat, for this love seat, I can move it along, and just as I would do if I had done it with copy and rotate as separate commands. And then I can just go ahead and keep moving normally. And then if I'm happy with that macro that I've been selected, I can click on save, and it's going to automatically go to my saved macros. But if I go to Insights, I have another recommendation, which is multiple fillet, which I'm going to try to show here. I'm going to do this 2 rectangles just to show you how it works. And then if I move that down, I'm going to try to fill it. So instead of having to activate the fillet command every time, I'm going to hit try. And I'm going to specify that I want to fill it with these 2 lines. And now you can see that the fillet command is still active instead of me having to reactivate it again by doing enter or clicking. So if I'm happy with that recommendation, I can click save. And as you can see, it's going to be there for you when you need it as well. And the longer you use the application, the longer you use this tool, the more recommendations you're going to get based on the activities that you normally perform. We're now going to take a look at another one of the new features for this release, which is the Smart Blocks placement. The new feature functionality can offer placement suggestion based on where you place the block before in a drawing. The block placement engine learns how the existing block instances are placed in your drawing to infer the next placement for the same block. And as you insert a block, the engine gives placement suggestions and close to a similar geometry where you placed a block before. Some of the new commands available for this feature are auto placement, which controls whether placement suggestions are displayed as you insert a block or not. And we also have a placement switch, which indicates whether placement suggestions are displayed by default as you insert the block. So for this specific feature, we have two different demos. We're first going to look at how this feature works with just simple blocks, just to get the idea. So we have here very simple rectangles and squares. So I'm going to copy this rectangle block that I've already inserted right here from my block palette. So I'm going to click on it and I'm going to bring it. So as you can see, the application automatically suggests the position for the block based on the first one that I have. So I just have to hover over the point and it gives me different options. So as you can imagine, this is a great tool for when you have different design options or iterations that you want to try. So it saves a lot of time because it already gives you some of those suggestions that you might want to try or do. And then it works, once you're done, it works the same way as if you were to insert blocks manually, but one by one. So now I'm going to show you a demo of this feature on a regular floor plan just to see how we can leverage this in our everyday workflows. So I'm going to go ahead and place two more chairs on this kitchen island. So as you can see here, this chair has already been inserted twice, the same block. And now I just had to open my blocks palette by doing the insert command. And I'm going to select the same chair, just here. And then I'm going to, as soon as I hover over the kitchen island, it gives me the same exact position in which I've already placed the two other chairs. And I just have to hover over it again. And it automatically places the chair in the same exact distance of the original one. And as you can see, if I hover the chair over another part of the island, it doesn't work because it automatically learns that this is where I want my chair to be, or this is where I put this chair previously. So as you can see, this feature is a very good tool for time-saving purposes. We're now going to move on to the Smart Blocks replacement tool. You can replace one or more blocks by machine learning-based suggestions, recently used blocks, or manual selection, delivering an incredible time-saving automation. When you select block reference to replace, the product suggests similar blocks for you to select from. And then when the block reference are replaced, the scale, rotation, and attribute values are maintained from the original block. Some of the new commands available for this feature are B replace, which replaces the specified block reference with a block you select from a list. And we also have hyphen be replaced, which at the command prompt replaces a specified block references with a block selected from a list of suggested blocks. And we also have blocks data option, which displays the data collection consent dialog box. So we're going to see this feature in action now. And as you can see here, I have the same floor plan, the same kitchen island and chairs that we just placed. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and click on this on the Insert tab and the Replace button here, or you can also enter the Be Replace command. And one thing that's very important, you have to select all the blocks that you want to replace at the same time. So I'm going to select all my chairs, and it's already telling me this is what you have in here that might be similar to what you want to do. So it's going to ask me if I want to redefine this block. I'm going to redefine it. And as you can see here, my chairs have been replaced with this new block. So you might have to do some adjustments after you replace your block, such as moving the block perhaps or rotating, like I have to do in this case. But just imagine how much time you will save by doing this instead of replacing the block one by one, or maybe inserting the new block and then just having to manually delete the blocks that you don't no longer want to try to import or bring in the blocks that you now want. So you can see that in less than a minute, I switch my chairs for new chairs. We're now going to look at the copy from trace command. The trace environment continues to improve, and it now includes this copy from trace command, and also includes new settings controls on the toolbar. And the new command lets you copy objects from a trace directly into a drawing. So we're going to go ahead and give this command a try. So I have here the same floor plan as before. I'm going to start the trace tool. I'm going to start a new trace. And as you can see here, I'm on the front trace. So in here, I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of things. I'm going to insert some furniture. So I'm going to switch to my furniture layer, and I'm going to select this chair or love seat. And I'm going to insert two right here on this vestibule. So one here, and I'm going to rotate to be in the position that I want. And I'm also going to mirror this one to have another one next to it. And next, as you can see, this is still part of my trace, not yet of my drawing. So if I go here, I'm going to add a door inside the kitchen. So I don't want this door to be swinging into the back of the house. I want it to be, oh, sorry about that. Let's start that over. So we're going to go over that again. So trace, new trace, and adding my furniture, selecting my furniture layer. I select my layer, I bring in my furniture from the blocks palette. I select my chair or love seat, insert it again. And as I mentioned, this is still part of my trace. This is not yet in my drawing. So what this command allows us to do is after we're done with the trace, we can then proceed and add these objects directly into a drawing. So I've added my two chairs, and I'm now going to move on to my door, the kitchen door. So what I was trying to do here, or what I want to do here, is to add a mirror image of this door. So I want the door to swing inside instead. So for that, I go into my blocks palette once more, and I select my door. This is a 2/6 door. So I insert my door. I rotate it to be in the position that I want it to be. And now I have my door and put it in the right layer. And as you can see, my door is now part of my trace, as well as my two chairs. So I'm going to go ahead and add another chair here. I go to my blocks palette once more, and I add my sofa to my formal living room. And now what I have to do is I have to switch to the back trace. And I'm going to go ahead and initiate the copy from trace command. As you can see, the things that I added are a little bit of a grayscale because they're not part of the drawing yet. So I'm going to select both the love seats and to enter. And I'm going to do the same for the other chair, enter. And I'm going to do the same for my door. So copy from trace and select my door and enter. And now, as you can see, and I close my trace tool, these are now part of my drawing. So these are not part of the trace anymore. And then I can get rid of my door, and then it will be part of my drawing. So we're now going to move on to the Markup Import and Markup Assist enhancement. The previous AutoCAD release included Markup Import and Markup Assist, which allows you to rapidly send and incorporate feedback into your designs and import feedback from printed sheets and initiate commands based on red lines and notes. This release includes improvements such as update existing text, strike out text, markups with associated PDF text comments, fade markups, selecting markups within a boundary, and instruction text on a markup. And we also have a new command available, which is fade markup, which fades individual markups so that they are less visible on the trace if we don't want to act on them right away. So we're also going to do a demonstration for these enhancements. As we see here, we're going to start the Markup Import tool. We're going to search for the PDF that we want to introduce. So we're importing the markup now. This will take a few seconds. So once we're done, it's going to ask us if we accept the placement of the markup. We can either click on accept, click on enter, or do an AC on the command line. And we now have our markup imported. As you can see, it recognizes automatically that I have added text to this PDF. However, it's not quite in the position that I want it to be, so I'm going to go ahead and move it to place it in the right point. So I do my move command. And oh no, I selected the drawing instead, but make sure that you select your trace or your markup. So now that I selected the PDF, I'm going to put it in the right place. So I'm going to use this corner as a reference, and it's now in a much better location for me to work on it. So the first thing that we have to do is switch to the trace back. And you can see now how it highlights all the text and objects that I've added on the markup or as red lines. It identifies the word move as the move command. It identifies the revision cloud. If I hover over the word move, I automatically activate the move command. And it recognizes here that I've added text. So if I hover over it, it gives me the option to insert it as a leader, as a text, or update. So I'm going to update the text that says service yard here. I'll first, of course, have to activate the viewport to be able to touch my drawing. So I'm going to activate the viewport. And now, if I hover over BOH or back of house, I'm going to do update existing text, click on service yard and replace. I have options what I'm going to do replace, and it automatically replaces my text with the text that I've added as a red line without having to type anything. So next up, I'm going to fade my revision cloud because I'm not going to work on that now. So I can click on fade markup and it disappears for the moment. Now, if I hover over the word move, I activate the move command and I can move this formal living and put it here now. And as you can see, this was all done just by the red lines that I did on this PDF that I then scanned and brought into AutoCAD. So this gives us endless possibilities to work on red lines with other team members. Perhaps we get assigned to go over a set before we turn the set over to the client or to the city. And we can quickly make this red line scan our PDFs and sets, and then somebody else can come in and work on those red lines directly, not even having to activate commands, just by writing the words down on our markups. And I'm going to now move ahead to our next presentation slide, which is the count and blocks palette. This previously introduced features have performance enhancements. The counting blocks is now 70% faster, and navigating content on the blocks palette is up to 47% faster, thanks to insight based on frequently used objects. We also have the auto lifts APIs, and you can now automate a series of commands in AutoCAD on the web. And we have some very exciting news for those of you who are using AutoCAD LT. As you know, AutoList is now available on AutoCAD LT, starting with this 2024 release. And just a quick overview of the AutoList. AutoList is a dialect of the LISP programming language, which was developed in 1958 and added to AutoCAD version 2.18 all the way back in 1986 as an interface to extend its functionality. Not only can you use it to automate tasks similar to, but much more powerful than scripts, but it also lets you interact with the editor in familiar ways. And AutoList lets you specify points, select objects, and enter alphanumeric data at the command line or provide input via dialog boxes that are created with its companion language, DCL, or dialog control language. It is important to note, though, that VLID, or which stands for Visual Lisp Integrated Development Environment, it's not included in AutoCAD LT yet. And just to recap our exciting new features, we have Activity Insights and My Insights Micro Advisor and Dashboard enhancements. We have Smart Blocks Placement, Smart Blocks Replacement, Copy from Trace, and some enhancements for the Markup Import and Markup Assist. We also have the Count and Blocks palette, and we also have AutoList on AutoCAD Web, and of course, AutoList on AutoCAD LT. Also notable are that the AutoCAD for Mac is now supporting all the M series chips. So this is going to amount to very significant performance improvements. And also some enhancements have been made to the publish to web PNG PC3 file, which is a plotter file, and also the PDF as a HX system variable. We also want to mention the new features for all the toolsets that are available also with your subscription to AutoCAD. So now we're going to move on to the AutoCAD Architecture 2024 and AutoCAD MEP 2024. So these two toolsets, the new feature for them is the AEC3 print command, which exports AEC objects to an STL file format and allows for compatibility with 3D printing without the need to convert these objects to 3D solids. This new command is available in both Architecture and MEP. We also have some new features for AutoCAD Electrical 2024. It includes two new features. So the first one is the schematic symbol table. With this, you can create a schematic symbol table from reports. The schematic report lists the symbols used in the project along with its description in a table. And you can also serve through a particular symbol that is used in various locations of the same project. We also have the wire type synchronization. So in the AutoCAD Electrical 2024 toolset, when the wire type is updated at the source arrow, all wires in the network are updated to the same wire type of the source. And new wire layers are created along with its properties if the destination drawing doesn't contain the wire type already. We also have a couple of new features for the AutoCAD Mechanical 2024 toolset. The first one is the ANSI and ASME standard revision update for section line symbols. The section line symbol within AutoCAD Mechanical is updated now to support the AWS Y14.3 2012 standard revision. However, it will continue to support the AWS Y14.3 2003 standard revision. We also have the ISO standard revision update for taper and slope symbols. This will now support the ISO 3040-2016E standard revision, and it will continue to support the ISO 3040-2009 standard revision. Another feature is the taper and slope and dynamic auto-calculation behavior. Taper and slope symbols are auto-calculated dynamically during creation or editing of the symbol. The taper and slope calculation is always maintained once you select the baseline for this calculation. However, you may opt not to create calculation symbols or manually edit the calculated value when you create or edit a symbol. Another very helpful feature is now the leader node in Markup Assist. And then AutoCAD Mechanical 2024 now supports text objects and include the mechanical leader through the AM node command. We also have new features for the AutoCAD Map 3D. In this case, the AutoCAD Map 3D now supports coordinate systems in the following categories. We have Snake Grid, EWR2, and NAD83 CSRS Alberta 3TM. And we're moving on to the AutoCAD Plan 3D 2024 toolset. This release includes 5 new features, which we're going to go very quickly over because these are very extensive. So we first have the Order Bill of Materials, or BOM. You can now add the BOM for piping, equipment, steel, as well as nozzle and spool list into ortho drawings. We also have spec and catalog editor enhancements, which we can now edit parts within a selected parts family for inclusion in a spec sheet or catalog. We also have the pipe spec viewer enhancements, which allow us to view all parts available for a specific size in the selected spec and use the search box to look for specific components in the pipe spec viewer. We also have auto single line piping enhancements, the new interface for some piping criteria, providing better control when you display piping in a single line representation in orthographic drawings. And the last but not least, we have undo checkout in collaboration projects. So now you can undo the checkout of multiple drawings from either the whole project or a specific folder when you're in a collaboration environment. So to recap the new features available in this release of AutoCAD, we wanted to go over the main difference between AutoCAD 2024 and AutoCAD LT 2024. So included in AutoCAD 2024 are activity insights, smart blocks placement, smart blocks replacement, and copy from trace. And with your subscription, you also have access to AutoCAD Web and the AutoCAD Mobile App, which you can download from your phone's app store. Included in AutoCAD LT 2024 are smart blocks placement and auto list. And with your AutoCAD LT subscription, you also have access to AutoCAD Web and the AutoCAD Mobile App. We also wanted to briefly talk about the file format. The default file format for AutoCAD 2024 will continue to be AutoCAD 2018 DWG, meaning you will not have to downsave any new file or upgrade any of your current files. Files can also be saved down to AutoCAD R14, LT98, and LT95 if necessary, 97 necessary. It is also important to point out some graphic cards, notes, and recommendations have also been updated. And with that, we conclude our technical presentation. And looking at the topics we covered today, we talked about the AutoCAD 2024 portfolio, the AutoCAD Web, and the AutoCAD Mobile App, as well as the, of course, AutoCAD Desktop application, the new features and enhancements available in this release, as well as the specialized toolsets, and how we can leverage these to increase our productivity. And we also did a brief AutoCAD LT comparison and touched on the file formats.